Today's tech news moves fast, but understanding it shouldn't be hard. That's why Snarful Solutions Group brings you Connecting the Dots, where we break down what's happening in tech and why it matters to you. Now, let's dive in with your hosts.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. It is Monday, January 19th, 2026. You are listening to Connecting the Dots,
the show where we try to find the pattern in all the tech noise.
That is the goal. I'm Alex.
And I'm Morgan.
Yeah.
And wow, it is great to be here.
It's great you made it here.
A little hard to get here this morning, I will say.
You are not kidding. We have a packed show, some really heavy industry shifts to talk about. But first, we have to talk about the view or, the lack of one.
Right.
If you're listening locally here in Sacramento, you are probably navigating by sonar right now.
It is literal pea soup out there in the valley.
We have a dense fog advisory in effect until noon.
Visibility is near zero in some spots, so if you are on the road, please, lights on, slow down.
Don't be a hero on the freeway this morning.
Exactly.
And for our listeners on the East Coast, it sounds like you're dealing with the polar opposite mess.
Yeah, we're seeing reports of heavy lake effect snow causing total whiteout conditions around the Great Lakes.
And there's a coastal low, I think, dumping moderate to heavy snow across southern and eastern New England.
So basically, whether it's fog or snow, it's just a messy Monday morning commute.
Definitely a day for the extra large coffee.
For sure.
Speaking of things looking a little gray, let's take a quick pulse check on the financial markets.
Yeah, it feels a bit sluggish to start the week, doesn't it?
It does, like the markets are hitting the snooze button.
The Dow closed Friday down about 0.22%, so it's hovering right around 49,359.
And the S&P.
Also dipped a little, down nearly 0.3%.
And what about crypto?
Same story, at least for the daily chart. Bitcoin is down just a hair today, trading around 92,900.
Okay.
But, and this is the important context, if you zoom out to the weekly view, the trend is actually looking pretty healthy. It's up nearly 2% since last Monday.
So despite the Monday morning dip, the floor is holding.
The floor is holding, just keeping everyone on their toes?
All right. Now, before we crack open the Smartful Tech article report, the Morning Star, as we call it, we need to give a huge shout out to the folks helping us keep the lights on.
Old Glory.
Old Glory.
Oh, absolutely. I was just on their site yesterday. If you have that one friend who is, impossible to shop for.
The music snob,
Yeah.
the sports fanatic who has every single jersey.
You have to check them out.
They are the iconic fan merch store. And we're talking about officially licensed band, T-shirts, hoodies, collectibles. This is the real deal.
Not the cheap knockoff stuff.
No. And because they love our listeners, if you use the promo code SNARFUL, that's SNARSHEOUSUL, at checkout, you get 15% off your entire purchase.
Which is a solid deal.
It is. That's promo code SNARFUL. You can find them at oldglory.com. Go get something cool.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it. So, looking at the Morning Star today, I feel like there's a very specific theme just screaming at us.
Yeah, you see it right.
I do.
Yeah.
We're looking at three massive players, Meta, Asus, and Microsoft.
And on the surface, these stories look totally different.
Right. You've got VR layoffs, then a company getting out of phones, and then video game ads.
Yeah.
But when you lay them on top of each other,
A very clear and honestly somewhat ruthless picture emerges.
the great reshuffling.
That's a good way to put it. The era of, traditional hardware ownership in these walled garden ecosystems seems to be ending.
And what's replacing it?
A model that is entirely dependent on AI and cloud access.
It's the pivot.
It's the pivot, and it's messy, it's causing layoffs, it's killing beloved products, but from a business strategy perspective, it is terrifyingly logical.
Well, let's start with a story that has social media in a total meltdown this morning.
Yeah.
Meta.
Right.
The news broke that they have cut approximately 1,500 jobs in their Reality Labs division.
In Reality Labs, for context, that's the division that builds the Quest headsets, the metaverse, all that VR stuff.
So 1,500 people.
Yeah.
That's like 10 to 15% of that entire workforce.
It's a massive number.
And of course, the knee-jerk reaction online has been, well, that's it. The metaverse is dead. Zuckerberg's throwing in the towel.
But that might not be the whole story.
You don't think so?
Well, it's definitely not the whole story. In fact, if you listen to Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus.
The guy who basically kickstarted this whole modern VR thing.
Exactly. He has a very different take. He's not calling this a retreat. He's calling it a correction.
A correction. That sounds a lot like corporate spin for we ran out of money.
It does, but hear him out. Luckey's argument is that Meta's internal game studios had become bloated.
Bloated.
Yeah, and he used this phrase that I think is really key. He said they were crowding out the ecosystem.
What does that mean exactly? Crowding out.
Well, think about it this way. Meta was spending billions to make their own high-quality games.
Right.
They'd market them on their own store, give them the best placement, probably sell them at a loss just to get people to play.
So if you're a small third-party developer trying to make a VR game, how do you compete with that?
You can't. You're competing against the landlord who also owns the biggest shop in the mall.
That's a good analogy.
Lucky used a great one, too. He said Meta was trying to be Nintendo.
Oh.
Nintendo makes the Switch, and they make Mario and Zelda. It's a closed loop where their own stuff dominates. But for VR to actually become the next computing platform, it needs to be open.
It needs other people to be able to make money.
It needs to be an ecosystem.
Okay.
So the theory is, by firing their own game developers, they are clearing the lane for everyone else.
So they stop subsidizing their own content, which forces the market to stand on its own 2 feet.
That's the idea.
Okay, that makes sense on a whiteboard in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
But we have to talk about the human cost here.
For sure.
I don't just mean the people losing their jobs, which is awful. I mean the consumers, the people who bought into this ecosystem.
And there's one specific app that's getting absolutely hammered by this.
Supernatural.
Yeah. This is the part of the story that really hits home for me, because Supernatural isn't just some game.
No, it is a lifestyle for people. For anyone who doesn't know, it's a VR fitness app.
Kind of like Peloton meets Beat Saber.
Exactly. You're in these gorgeous landscapes, Iceland, the Great Wall of China, and you're boxing and swinging to music. It was one of Meta's flagship acquisitions.
And now, under these new cuts, the report says there is no new content planned. Zero.
No new songs, no new coaching routines. The team has basically been dissolved.
And this is the part that is just infuriating.
The price.
The subscription price is staying exactly the same, still $100 a year.
For a product that is effectively frozen in time.
It's a zombie app now.
And the users are grieving. I'm not even using that word lightly. We've got this story about a user named Stacey Goff Johnson. She lost over 100 pounds using this app.
Wow.
Over 2 years. She credits it with getting her off blood pressure medication. I mean, it changed her life.
That's huge.
It is. And when she heard this news, her reaction was just heartbreak. She said, quote, "It can't all just be AI, AI, AI."
That quote, "It can't all just be AI." That just sums up the tension we're seeing across the entire tech world right now.
It really does. And Stacey isn't just missing a workout. She's missing a community. The article mentions other users who would meet up in VR to high-five after workouts.
Chip and Elisa.
Right. They said, we're all in this together. And now they're on Facebook and Reddit writing eulogies for a piece of software.
It just highlights the risk of falling in love with these closed corporate ecosystems when the strategy shifts.
The community gets evicted.
And the strategy is shifting. Meta isn't just saving money here, they're moving it.
So where is it going?
It's going to the new golden child. Yeah. Meta AI, the Superintelligence Labs, and the Ray-Ban smart glasses. Meta has decided the future isn't you in a bulky headset punching virtual balloons. It's you wearing lightweight glasses that whisper AI answers into your ear.
So they are sacrificing the fitness community to chase the AI dream.
Ruthlessly.
Which brings us directly to our second story. Because if you think Meta stamping game production is a big shift.
How about a major electronics giant just stopping production of smartphones entirely?
This is a huge deal for the hardware geeks out there. We are talking about Asus.
Yeah, Asus, the maker of the Zenfone and the ROG phone.
Chairman Johnny Shi confirmed it in Taipei. The company will not be releasing any new smartphone models in 2026.
And this is significant because Asus was one of the last holdouts serving these very specific niches that the big guys just ignored.
I have to admit, I'm kind of sad about this one. The ROG phone, the Republic of Gamers phone, was just wild.
It was like a spaceship in your pocket.
It was. It had cooling fans. It had ultrasonic trigger buttons on the side, 2 charging cords so the cord wouldn't get in your way.
An engineering marvel. And the Zenfone was loved because it was one of the last compact flagships, a powerful phone that you could actually hold.
So why kill them? If people love them, why get out of the market?
Well, loved and bought can be two different things. The inventory in the US is already dry. The ROG Phone 8 and 9 are out of stock.
The Zenfone 12 Ultra never even launched here.
Right. But the reason for the exit is deeper than sales. It's about what you could call the growth trap.
The growth trap.
The smartphone market is mature. Everybody has one. People are keeping them longer. Chairman Xi called it indefinite observation. of the market.
Which is polite corporate speak for, we don't see a way to make money here anymore.
Exactly. But he also mentioned a very specific technical reason. Memory prices.
Memory prices? Like for storage?
Specifically DRAM, the high-speed memory chips. The price for those has skyrocketed. And do you know why?
Let me guess. AI.
You nailed it. The AI boom requires massive amounts of high-end memory for all those servers running things like ChatGPT.
So that demand is driving up the cost of components.
The AI industry is literally eating the supply chain, so building a high-spec phone like the ROG phone has become incredibly expensive.
So, once again, AI is the culprit. Meta pivots to AI. Asus gets squeezed out by AI prices. And I'm guessing Asus isn't just firing these engineers either.
Nope. Reallocating that talent. They're moving their R&D resources into, wait for it,
Smart glasses.
smart glasses, robotics, and commercial AI PCs.
There it is again. It is the exact same pattern.
It's the same bet. Why fight Apple and Samsung for 1% of a shrinking market when you can pivot to robotics and AI, which might be the boom market of the late 2020s?
It makes business sense, but as a consumer, it feels like the end of the weird gadget era. You know,
It certainly reduces choice.
now you just buy a slab of glass from Apple or Samsung or Google, and that's it. The innovation and form factor seems to be dying.
They did promise to support existing phones with updates and warranties, so it won't be a brick tomorrow. But yeah, the lineage ends here.
All right, let's connect the final dot. We've talked about VR content drying up. We've talked about unique hardware disappearing. Now let's talk about Xbox.
Because they're changing the fundamental way we access games, and this might be the most futuristic business model of all three.
This story has been rumored for a while, but the evidence is finally piling up. Microsoft appears to be prepping a free, ad-supported tier for Xbox Cloud Gaming.
To launch this year, 2026.
This came out because users spotted a pop-up message on their screens, right?
Exactly. A message that said, 1 hour of ad-supported playtime per session.
So the reporting suggests it'll be, like 2 minutes of pre-roll ads before the game starts?
Yeah, commercials you have to watch, and then you get an hour of gameplay.
Okay, help me understand the play here. Xbox has Game Pass. That's their big subscription. Why give the product away for free for just a few pennies of ad revenue?
It's about expanding the funnel. Right now, to play cloud games, you need Game Pass Ultimate. That's almost $20 a month.
That's a barrier for a lot of people.
A huge barrier. This new tier would let you stream games you already own digitally without the subscription.
But there's a bigger global play here, isn't there?
Massive. Think about markets like India, Southeast Asia, parts of Africa. An Xbox Series X costs $500.
And that's before tariffs and other costs.
It's prohibitively expensive for most people, but almost everyone has a smartphone.
So if Microsoft can just bypass the console and deliver the game to the phone for free...
As long as you watch an ad, they unlock billions of potential new users.
The console becomes optional.
Exactly. But there is an even deeper layer to this, which I think is just fascinating. It's what analysts are calling the idle compute theory.
Idle compute. Okay, break that down for us.
All right, so Microsoft runs Azure, these giant data centers filled with expensive chips.
For AI, Copilot, ChatGPT, all of it.
Right. When you ask an AI a question, it uses those chips.
Yeah.
But what happens at 3 a.m. when fewer people are using AI?
The chips are just sitting there?
They're sitting there. They are idle. And an idle server is burning electricity and losing money. It's like a restaurant with empty tables. You're still paying rent.
So the theory is, fill the empty tables with gamers.
Exactly. Even if that gamer isn't paying a subscription, if they watch a few ads, it monetizes that server time that would have otherwise just been wasted.
That is actually pretty brilliant.
Yeah.
So the gamer is basically the filler content to keep the servers warm for the AI.
In a sense, yeah. It keeps the infrastructure active, pays the electric bill, so the capacity is there when AI demand spikes again. It's a perfect symbiosis between their gaming and AI businesses.
It really is all connected. Meta cuts VR to fund AI. Asus cuts phones to build AI robots. Xbox uses gamers to monetize AI servers.
It's the singularity of business models.
Yeah.
Everything is gravitating toward the black hole of artificial intelligence.
We're going to wrap up with some final thoughts on what this all means for you, the person actually buying this stuff. But first, I want to mention our other partner for today, Scony.
Ah, Scony. You know, with all this talk about VR and sitting on the couch playing Xbox, we should probably encourage people to go outside.
A good idea. And if you're going to go walk on some grass, whether it's a golf course or just a park, you should know about Scony.
They make premium golf shoes, but they don't look like those old school stiff saddle shoes.
No, they're incredibly comfortable, stylish. They look like high-end sneakers, but with the grip you actually need.
I've seen them. They blur that line between athletic wear and casual fashion really well.
They do. And just like with Old Glory, our listeners get a hookup. If you use the promo code SNARFUL again, that's SNARFUL at checkout, you get 15% off your entire purchase.
Nice.
That's gonai.com. Check them out.
So, putting this all together, Meta, Asus, Xbox. What is the takeaway for 2026?
To me, it feels like the year of the trade-off. We are trading ownership for access.
That's the perfect way to frame it. Think about it. Meta is saying you don't need a library of curated games. You need an AI agent.
Asus is saying you don't need a specialized phone. You need a generic portal to our cloud services.
And Xbox is saying you don't need a console. You just need to watch this ad.
It's the servicification of everything. The hardware is becoming harder to find or more expensive or just generic.
And the value is moving entirely into the cloud.
For people like Stacy, the supernatural user, or the diehard ROG phone fan, it feels like a loss.
Because it is a loss. We are losing the era where the device in your hand was king. Now the device is just a dumb terminal, a window looking into the AI brain.
And as we rush toward that future, we have to ask, if the server goes down or the strategy shifts, what do we actually own?
As we learned with Supernatural today, maybe nothing.
On that cheery note, that is it for us today. We're here to help at Snarful, so reach out on our website if you have any more questions.
Bye, everyone.
That's a wrap on today's top stories. Remember, tech doesn't have to be complicated, and we're here to help connect the dots. If you've got questions or want to learn more, visit us at snarful.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.